wouldn't it?
Yes, tricky conditions, windy, pitch not as good as what we've been used to over the last previous games in the season, but it's a tough game. It's an even game. It's an even game. Millwall, like they possess a big threat going forward with their power and their pace on the counter attack, but Norwich have shown glimpses of little intricate plays where they've got into the box. Probably disappointed with some of their finishing, really.
But where do they go from here then? Because it's one of those games where you've got to find another way to win a football match, isn't it? Sometimes you can't play that pretty stuff all the time. Well, it might come off, you know. That's what we've seen in the past. Norwich will persist with the way they play, and generally it's worked out for them. But is there anything else they can do differently?
I think you mean rather than the intricate little triangles in and around that last third in the middle of the goal, just outside of the opposing penalty area. I think if you, like Paqueta, had it wide on a few occasions early in the game. What Paqueta was doing, he was bringing it into where all the bodies were. And he's
going to be, though. If he's left-footed, he's going to cut across, isn't he?
So maybe it might be a case of swapping Cantwell and Paqueta. So I think to give them more of a chance, more direct, get the winger to the byline, and rather than crosses going away from the forwards, getting it so the right foot is crossing it from the right, so it's going behind the last defender and away from the goalkeeper. So it's sort of like a bit more, sort of like it gives the forwards more chance to go in it rather than bringing balls in. And they always seem to be going away from the attackers.
But you also have to give Millwall credit. You know,
Absolutely.
they've defended really well tonight. They've clearly
so.
watched the Middlesbrough game at the weekend, and they've seen how Middlesbrough set themselves up against Norwich. They're probably a little bit more adventurous going forward, but actually defensively, they're not letting Norwich settle on the ball. You look at Cantwell, he's coming so deep to get the ball. He's not been able to turn once yet when the ball's been played into his feet.
And I think it's not only Cantwell, it's every Norwich player receiving it in that Millwall half. Millwall have defended really, really well. And like I say, out of possession, they get loads of men behind the ball as well and make it really compact. So that's when Norwich have got to sort of like make the play big, spread the play, have two wide players, whether it's Cantwell, whether it's Giannoulis, because Giannoulis has got forward quite a lot.
You've set this up while I've been doing co-coms, Rob, so go.
Basically, what we're saying here is sort of like you wing backs here. Paqueta's got it in a lot of good areas here. You've got Pukki in there, and I think you've got Vranic and Cantwell. So what I was trying to say earlier, rather than sort of like coming in here where all these bodies are, because they are
getting bodies back.
They are getting bodies back.
Literally one up front.
So rather than sort of like, this is sort of like what this guy's wanting to do. This is the wing back who's come
deep
back.
as well, aren't they?
Basically. So they want him to come in because this is where all the bodies are. All of a sudden, Paqueta's not going to go there because he's left-footed. He doesn't want to go to the byline. Whereas I'm just saying, if he's on the other side, he can go here and he can cross the ball. So it's coming away from the goalkeeper. And I just think you can pull back on the half on the penalty spot on the edge of the box. It just gives some sort of like the Norwich players a bit more time.
But it's much as you're saying with Paqueta though, and he's getting into these areas and he is cutting inside. I mean, I know he's not right-footed, but I wasn't right-footed.
No.
But if I got on this side and that defender was given the opportunity to go past him down here, the pace he's got, still do it and whip one in with his right foot. You know, sometimes it takes a scuff. Doesn't matter how you hit him, does it?
Mate, you took one in the crowd behind the camera, your right foot. I know what you're saying. If you've got a quality and you've got confidence in your ability, do it. Because should be able to cross the ball back to the penalty spot away from the goalkeeper. But his mindset is coming in. And like
but
I say...
that would have been instruction though, wouldn't
absolutely, 100%. I'm not saying this is Paqueta's fault. Paqueta's played it there and they must have said, come inside. And to be fair, early on he got a couple of shots off. Yeah. But after that initial period of 10 minutes where he was causing them a threat, he's been sort of like not effective in the last 30 minutes. And basically he hasn't, Cantwell hasn't, and Vrancic haven't. Yeah. And like... Pukki's sort of like going searching and whatever. And Pukki had a couple of times and he just looked a bit leggy as well. So it just looks one of those nights where you fear that they're not sharp. It's not a great night. It's not a great stadium because it's like windy and whatever as well. So it might be one of them nights where you think, like you've said earlier, just good old-fashioned football, really direct. And someone like Hugel probably is missing from the team tonight, where you want him in the team. But like I say, listen, Millwall have played their part in this game. Hanley, I think Hanley's been outstanding again today because against the striker who's really strong. Zahor is really strong and direct. So that's a good battle as well. So it's a good old game of fashion football.
Yeah, I mean, you look how influential Kenny McLean's been in recent weeks and months for Norwich. And is he someone who probably does a little bit more going forward? Skips that used to want to sit in and Roop's probably not as agile going forward, not as influential as Kenny McLean. Is that an area they could probably look at?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I think what's happening now, if Skip plays alongside Kenny McLean, Skip never goes forward. It's always Kenny McLean. you've been watching Eadie, sometimes it's been Skip, sometimes it's been Rupp. And I think with Skip, it's like always Kenny McLean. But what Kenny McLean's got around that area, the outside of the penalty area, he's got the quality to play little link-up triangles or whatever, and to score goals as well. Whereas Rupp and Skip, I don't think have that.
Yeah, okay. Well, you're talking from a right-hand side of Placheta going on and he's cutting onto his right foot and cutting it back. Somebody do that very often left-hand side is Darren Huckabee. Did he have a left foot?
I'd say you go to now. You'd have a better left foot than what you'd have a right foot.
Oh, well, look, Hux, come on. You having that? But is that, I mean, I don't know, is that a point, though, Hux? Because he's in an area, he's getting into good areas again, and clearly he's had instruction to come inside and get shots away on his left foot. But sometimes you just got to mix it up, and he cut back on his right foot and just hits it across the 6-yard bob with his right foot, because it's not even a particularly difficult skill to do, is it? It's more like a pass than it is a cross.
No, what he's got to do is very one-dimensional at the minute. So basically, they know that he can only go on his left-hand side. So basically, he can say, don't worry about going down the line. He's going to cut inside. He's going to try and get a shot off. And he did it once and nearly scored. But apart from that, it's too easy to play against. Everything's a little bit too slow. We're kind of playing into their hands a little bit because it's slow. By the time we get up there, they've already got 8 men back, and it's very hard to break down. So maybe get O'Neill on, who's a little bit more direct. We just got to mix up a little bit because it's looking like the same as Middlesbrough, where they're defending well. We ain't got enough to break them down. And they left a few tackles on Todd Cantwell as well, just like they did on Saturday. So it's up to us to try and change it because, a point is better for them than it is for us.
Is it down to conditions a little bit as well, Hux, that the surface isn't great, so Norwich can't move the ball as quick as they can? But they seem to be like, it's Millwall not giving them the time, really, more than anything. They're closing them down really quick and not giving the Norwich or affording them the time to knock balls about and break quickly. They're very quick, even when Grant Hanley's been picking the ball up in a central defence position. It's Zahor that's closing him down. So they're not getting the time to play out quick.
No, I think it's a bit of both, really. I don't think we're playing as well as we can do, but also they've watched what happened on Saturday, and they're kind of mirroring what they're doing, even though they've probably got a bit more threat than Middlesbrough had. But they're defending just like they did, and it's been very difficult for the lads today.
And how do Norwich change that then, Hugs? What would you be saying at half-time? Would you expect Daniel Farke to be saying? For me, I think he's probably going to say, we keep persisting the way we play, chances will come. And I think that's having that belief in his side too, something will come during this game.
Yeah, obviously he's still going to be confident that we're going to create something, but we've still got to be a little bit more direct in the final third. We've got to make something happen. At the minute, we're just getting by and hoping that something's going to happen. It's up to somebody to take it by the scruff of the neck, whether it's O'Neill, Hernandez, whether it's Todd Cantwell beating someone on the edge of the box. We've got to take our game onto them, and we've got to prove why we're top of the league. Yeah,
Daniel Farke has been very clear in this season in making his substitutes quite early and at tactical times, probably has done never in the past. And is that something he'd be looking at now as to who he can bring on? Because Rob and I were saying about Kenny McLean as well, the kind of influence he could have in a game like this in particular.
What we've got on our side is even though we're not played as well as we can do, we still look very solid at the back. So as long as that's sorted out, you can really make decisions going forward where you can change the game. So whether it's get O'Neill on, whether it's get Kenny on to maybe push a bit more forward than Rupp has. But like I said, we've got lots of options, but it's 45 minutes where we're the onus is on us to change the game now. They'll be happy there to sit and just have a 0-0 draw. It's a good point for them. But with Swansea coming up at the weekend, we really need to get something tonight. And
it's a difficult game for Timo Pukki tonight. He's kind of feeding off scraps again. But when he has got the opportunity inside the 18-yard box, he hasn't quite looked like the Timo Pukki of old, is he? He looks like Rob said, looks a little bit leggy tonight. And that happens sometimes with players, doesn't it?
Yeah, like I said, I don't think the pitch is open. It's a little bit heavy. But it's head for them as well. And, their 2 forwards up front look like they can go past people. So, like I say, it's really up to us to try and sort this game out, because before the game on Friday, we really need to try and get 3 points today.
Yeah, Hux, top man, thanks, mate. I will speak to you at full time. Well, it's got to say the same things as we are, really, isn't it? It makes sense. What do you do? Do you persist this? Do you make changes, Rob, as a manager in your time? I don't think you were particularly good at it, but what would you do? Would you make changes at half time?
Manager's head on. He knocked it on the head. O'Neill, Hernandez must be chomping it a bit to get on. Bring him on. Take Vrancic or Cantwell off. I'd probably take Vrancic off. Put O'Neill on the right, Placheta on the left. The back 4, like Hux has said, listen, you're strong, you're solid, you keep that way. Don't go chasing. Keep Skip, maybe change McLean for Rupp. I don't think that'll happen. But I think to start with, if you've got a right winger number 7.
How many subs is that you've made now?
No, I just made 2.
Oh, 2,
I made 2. A right winger, number 7, and a left winger, number 7 type. they're going to get them to the byline, start crossing, start pulling them back, because it gives all these people chances. But like I say, remain solid at the back. And like Huxley said, this is the game that you think, well, Norwich need to win this out of the next two games. Swansea's going to be really tough. Yeah. But like I say, Swansea's going to be a football game. It's going to be totally different to this. So don't lose this, first and foremost. Remain solid defensively. But I would bring now on and play a right winger, a right footer on the right and a left footer on the left.
Yeah, makes sense. Well, we've got a little look now at the next All in Yellow podcast that's coming up for you. And it's Lauren Hemp. Take a look at this.
Well, like when they say to me, what one piece of advice would you give? Like, all I say really is, like, you got to work hard. It doesn't matter how much talent you have. Like, if you don't work hard, if you don't believe in yourself, then it's not going to come true. Like, your dreams of being a professional footballer aren't going to come true if you don't put the work in. And like, people work long nights, wake up early, make sacrifices. Like, I made a sacrifice when I was 16 of moving away from home. Like, you do need to make some sacrifices sometimes if you really want to be a professional footballer. And like, it doesn't matter how much talent you've got to put that work in. And I think that's the main thing that I live by, is the 1% that are going to make you better, whether that's eating an apple instead of a chocolate bar, or going in an ice bath instead of a normal bath. It's those little things that are going to help you achieve what you want to do and help you to become a professional footballer.
Man City infiltrating everywhere, aren't they, mate?
She's doing well as well.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah. But that's what the rain does to you. So it takes a smile away from you. And whatever, but no, she's doing very well. She's doing very, very well. I mean, I know the manager now, Gareth Taylor, of the women's team, and he's really, really impressed with what she can offer.
Fantastic.
And it's great she's coming from Norwich as well.
Yeah, brilliant.
Norfolk girl as well.
A lovely girl
really
as well.
Absolutely.
So yeah, we're very, very proud of it. It's a great podcast to listen to as well. But we've got we had a question come in from Isaac Goldsworthy earlier, aged 8, and he's asked, who's got the most, I think it was dancing game for Norwich when they score a goal? Rob?
The best.
Yeah, who's the best dancer at Norwich?
This present team.
Well, you're not going to say it yourself.
This present team.
All right, for our history.
Listen, no. This present team, it's got to be someone like a Todd Cantwell, isn't it?
Yeah. Steepman's up there. He used to do the crab thing, didn't he? Did you not see his crab thing?
No.
But Todd's up there, isn't he?
Todd's got to be there. Todd looks like a dancer. He looks like a top dancer.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've got Justin Bieber's about him.
Yeah. I reckon Grant Hanley, he's the quickest. He's a good looking one, because the Kitman said.
All right, you like
him.
And
he must be a dancer.
It's your favourite.
He's a centre half. Yeah. Come on.
What about your dancing game back in the day? So I remember particularly the era we had in the 90s where we were always dancing. What did you talk us through it? What
Go
were
Grease Lightning. Go Grease Lightning. All those old people that, like, the Grease film was the iconic film of that era. Basically, we watched it every trip.
Not that old, mate.
You were playing. You going the goal Grease Lightning. We did it. Yeah, like across that. It was every time we scored a goal, and we were scoring quite a few goals there as well. We used to go off to the corner and like.
Why was it though? Just tell me what it was. Because after every single game on the away trip, what would we put on the coach? Before the game. I think it was a winning streak actually, and we said, like, listen, every time we win, we've got to watch Grease, and we were on a bit of we never lost for about 10, 11 games, and we had Grease on every single trip. Like, and to be fair, I love Grease, but to be fair, even me, it was grinding on me as well in the 11th or 12th time. So it was one of them moves. Anyone's seen it? Go Grease Lightning. That's what we used to do. Can you give a little demo?
You used to do this. Ooh. I even sing it as well.
It's difficult to learn that one. You've got some moves, mate.
That was me.
I bet you're on TikTok, aren't you?
Centre up. I leave it. We use like show ponies at the front, see. Yeah, I mean, you show ponies at the front.
To be fair, I actually remember doing it, right? But by the time we'd started it, because you're running up from centre half, by the time you got there, it was finished. You just ran back in.
And it's my film.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, brilliant. Right, good times.
Look, what do we expect to see the second half then? Because Norwich have got to produce, haven't they? They need to win out of this game. A draw's not really enough for Norwich, I think, just mentally more than anything for the team.
Yeah, like, a draw's not going to be the worst. Like, the draw's not going to be. But this is the game where you sort of like more or less expect Norwich to win this game. And what it does, if Norwich win this game, it takes them into Friday's game at Swansea, not in saying, well, we've got to win this game now because we lost this one or we drew this one 2 or 3 days earlier. But Norwich are still in a good shape. They're in the game. They're competing. They're looking strong defensively. But I just think they need a bit more quality in that final third.
Yeah, and just a reminder as well, you can still pick up the Norwich City sticker book, which is still available to buy. I think you can go on the Canaries website to buy it. There it is, and it's also available in Toftwood in Durham. It's available in the newsagents there, as well as other newsagents. It's available.
That New Village?
I don't know, mate. I don't know. That's what the producer told me. He saw it in there, so I think you can buy it in Tofton. Yeah, Toftwood.
Toftwood.
What am I saying Tofton
I
for?
don't know.
It's a new place.
It's a new place.
Yeah.
You've just made up.
Mate, teams are coming out for the second half very quickly. Would you take a draw out of this game from a Norwich point of view?
Take a draw.
The way they've gone this game tonight.
Yeah, I think so. You mean, like I say, and you've got to credit Millwall, but I would take a draw, but I would love a win.
We didn't do score predictions today, did we? What
I've got 1-0.
2.
Norwich.
Okay, I'm going to go.
Ooh, take it.
You have killed me. I was going to go for that one.
You can have it as well if you want.
No, I don't want it. Okay. No, I'm going to go for 1-1.
Oh.
Yeah?
Point.
Okay. We'll see you after the game. Enjoy the second half.
Swimming at night, she's been calling to me. Hold my breath in the pool, but she been underwater in the Indian Sea. I've been doing it right, can't forget what you said. When you're finished with you, baby, you should come and find me in the Sea of Cortez. The weight of my heart is the weight of the sea. She been living a dream. There's a blanket of cool